Welcome back to OLN's coverage of ABRA hydroplane racing. And Nate, we always talk about how important the start is for a race. Well, before the start is important as well.
One of the most important, as you can see right now, that boats are all jockeying for position. There's some boats really close together. You can see the U3 was on the inside. He was losing his lane. He had to go to the outside while he still had a chance.
Here is the lineup for Heat 2A on Lake Washington, and we asked some of the drivers themselves to navigate the tricky course for us.
It's a 2-mile course. Most of our courses are 2.5 mile. And Lake Washington is so different from anywhere else because it's just super rough. The water looks good, but you've got a couple thousand boats on log booms. What happens is their rolling action creates their own weather, and those rollers are coming onto the race course.
And then you get up to the bridge corner, and there's a big roller there every single time you get there. And if you're driving something other than one of the new boats, you get a big jolt, and it's terrible.
Well, the water really is everywhere in all kinds of patterns rather than a predictable pattern, and that makes it so tough. And it's hard to set the boat up, so you really just have to try and figure it out, and every meter of the lake is different. So you just do the best you can, but it's tough.
Well, Nate, literally and figuratively, the doctor is in the cockpit as we get ready for the start of Heat 2A.
Yeah, they're coming down here for the start. This is a great shot. You can see from the driver's perspective what you're looking at coming down for the start.
We say it over and over again, one of the keys to winning a race in hydroplanes, it's the start. And they come down to the start line, and it looks like it is a clean start for Heat 2A.
J. Michael Kelly looked like he wired that one wide open throttle, and he's going to leave some room here in the first corner, we hope, for Dr. Ken Muscatel, who we're on board with right now. It's great. You can see the boat on the outside of you there, the advantage you get from the inside. You can see how he snuck up on the boat on the outside of him there. If you keep watching here, you might be able to see him again.
And Dr. Ken is really hugging the buoys very closely.
Yeah, Ken's done a great job holding the buoys in that old boat. He's doing a great job.
Good to see J. Michael Kelly back behind the wheel of the U2 boat after the Detroit incident where he flipped in the final. We talked about that earlier. He looks like he's running strong. Yeah, the Graham trucking boat's doing great out there. He doesn't have the best handling boat in the world. This course is a rough body of water, but it looks like he's doing as good as he possibly can. Look at Dr. Ken Muscatel in there. He's really holding that thing great. In races past, Dr. Ken Muscatel has had some trouble getting his boat started. It's been a tough luck competitor, but in today's race, he's looking strong, as is the Oh Boy Oberto, driven by Steve David. We're on board with him right now. Yeah, and Steve's looking at those boats on his inside going, I got to pedal harder to catch these guys because they're on the inside track. There's Graham Trucking. He's being able to hold that corner really well, giving room for Ken Muscatel and the Miss Rock. And this is really a great race. There's 4 boats there. Look at the boat on the outside. Now, the boat on the outside is the U3. He's got to be going about 10 mile an hour faster than the other guys to be able to keep up with those guys on the outside. So, he's right in there. Right now, it's J. Michael Kelly's race to lose in the Graham Trucking U2 boat, looking strong on Lake Washington, coming around those curves, and you really never know what these waters have in store for you. You never know, because not only the water conditions, you have the boat wave conditions, and you can see Dr. Ken Muscatel's view there. He's getting ready to get hosed down here, it looks like. Muscatel's keeping an inside track, but he's all of a sudden dropped from second all the way to fourth in this heat. Yeah, he has, and I think he's lifting a little bit right now, knowing he's lost the overlap. He doesn't want to get wet, and this is, once again, just an elimination heat. And the U2 Graham Trucking boat, J. Michael Kelly is driving it hard. The boat is bouncing around, but he's keeping it under control, building, extending his lead over Steve David. And he's really trying hard. He hasn't won a heat all year, and this is the last lap, and he's got to get this thing home, get the points, try to get this Graham Trucking boat into the final here in Seattle. All the boats are bouncing around those rollers from the log boom and everything else that Lake Washington has in store for you at Seafair. It is a rocky ride on the waters in the Great Northwest. Ken Muscatel glad to have his boat still running in a heat. Very competitive for this boat, but it's all about J. Michael Kelly looking to secure that first ever career heat victory. Here he comes around that final corner. He's thinking of the same thing. I'm going to win it. I'm going to win this heat. I'm going to win this heat. It's a great race here. Look at that. Ken Muscatel snuck up on the inside again, and he looked like he was going to be able to overcome the Oh Boy Oberto, but not quite. And we are witnessing a little bit of history as J. Michael Kelly takes the checkered flag, his first career unlimited hydroplane heat win. And hats off to Jimmy King for building up a lot of boat speed down the stretch there and finishing in third place. Yeah, he did a great job once again. Hold that boat speed. That's a fast boat. And Nate, I think we need a little bit of an explanation. This isn't some victory lap for J. Michael Kelly, is it? No, not at all. He backed off a little bit, and the fuel control on the turbine engine goes to ground idle, and once it stops, why start? So here are your race results for Heat 2A. A well-earned 400 points for J. Michael Kelly, followed by Steve David and Jimmy King. We're getting set for Heat 2B, and Dave Villwalk will be on the water as he climbs into the cockpit and readies for his second ride of the day at Seafair in Seattle.